Hello, this is Guru Patrick Consing of Kapatid Martial Arts here in Pleasantville, New York. I want to introduce the newest powerful word of the month, which is dependability. Now, dependability means following through with our commitments, even when it's challenging to do so. Now, as teens and adults, we know what needs to get done and what's expected of us. Now, we realize that our actions don't occur in a vacuum, that people need us and depend on us to follow through. We also realize that when we make a mistake, we must be accountable for it. Now, it isn't always easy, but it's the right thing to do. Simply put, adults need to be dependable and refrain from any childish behaviors that make it impossible for people to trust us. Now, as professional speaker Larry Wingett once said, be the person who can keep a secret, isn't a gossip, and can be counted on in all situations. Now, that's pretty straightforward. Now, as leaders, we must follow his advice, and if we expect others to do the same. Question is, are you dependable? Now, when it comes to dependability, we're talking about making and keeping promises and commitments. Now, people talk about promises being made and broken every day. It seems that everybody these days seems to be very cavalier and nonchalant about when and if they actually carry out the promises. Now, why do you think that is? Norman Vincent Peale, preacher and author and originator of The Power of Positive Thinking, once wrote, "Promises are like crying babies in the theater. They should be carried out at once." Now, what do you think of that? Now, it seems that if you have no intentions of carrying out a promise or fulfilling your commitment, then you have no business making them in the first place. Now, how do people in your life regard their promises and commitments to you, your friends, and your family? Now, how does their behavior impact your relationship, positively or negatively? Now, when it comes to dependability, we're also talking about how many of our roles, as a student, family members, leaders, and friends can sometimes compromise our ability to be dependable. Sometimes we just stretch ourselves way too thin. We can overcompromise and underestimate how much time things will take. I know I do that. Can you relate? Now, it was Epicurus, the philosopher, who once said, "Be moderate in order to taste the joys of life in abundance." Now, how do you deal with all these roles that you have to play in your life and still stay reliable and dependable? How would you advise others to do the same? Now, in closing, I want to leave you with a powerful thought, and be honest with yourself. I want you to rate yourself from a 1 to 10 on your ability to be dependable. Do you keep your promises and commitments? Do you fulfill them in a reasonable amount of time? Or are you taking too much time and compromising your ability, to be dependable? Now, how can you improve? I basically want you to keep this in mind that, nobody's perfect. And if we do make mistakes, the right thing is to correct it. If we are to fulfill our word and our promises. One of the things that I tell the students here at Kapatid Martial Arts is to say, my word is law. Then I ask them the question, in your right mind, would you break the law? And of course they'd say no. But then again, I say to them, then if your word is law, would you break your word? Think about that for a second. Usually the worst things that happen when someone breaks a promise or doesn't fulfill it is their others' ability to trust them. Other people depend on us. Question is, can people depend on you? This is Guru Patrick Consing from Kapatid Martial Arts, located at 175 Tompkins Avenue here in Pleasantville, New York. Again, if you have any questions, please email me at info@kapatidmartialarts.com or simply give me a call at my school, area code 914-741-5550. I truly hope that you have a powerful day, and stay tuned for the continuation part 2 of this assignment on dependability. depending on you to always do your best. And I truly hope that you can be a leader unto others and influence others to be dependable also. You take care, and you have a powerful